Hi folks, welcome to episode 3 of my new series Let's Write a Song. In the last 2 episodes we started with the basic riff for an instrumental guitar song and we built our first verse section based on this riff, including drums, a bass, a synth pad and our guitar melody. I also gave you some useful tips for adding soul and flow to your melodies, so if you missed out my last episodes, I highly recommend to check them out. Today we're diving into the heart of our song, crafting a powerful chorus and shaping a pre-chorus that flows seamlessly from the verse. So first, let's take a listen to the last bars of our section before. For the pre-chorus we want to change the chords on our rhythm guitar to play a different sequence. We could start with, let's say, an E minor. Then we can go over to a G major. Then to B minor. And finally to A major. So very simple. To keep things engaging, I'd like to stick with the chord shape we used before in the verse, and it helps create a cohesive flow. This turns then the E minor into a E minor 9, E minor 9, and the G major into a G major 7, adding a touch of melancholy due to the subtle dissonance between the F sharp and the G. With the G and the B chord it turns into a B minor flat 6 or so, as the 6th note is the G again. And here we also have the same dissonance as in the G major. And finally we can turn the A major chord into a A7 sus6 or so. I cannot even name this chord, although we are just using 2 fingers, but it sounds great. Altogether, these chords lend the pre-chorus a beautifully melancholic character, although it is a very common chord sequence. So let's record these chords. Now we add a nice groove to our chords. I came across that fits nicely here, but I needed to tweak a little bit the pattern. It might push things a little bit too much forward, but we can always adjust the notes later in the final arrangement. But for now it works beautifully. At the end I stripped off some notes to make space for a short break, followed by a fill that kicks off the chorus. So that break gives the listener a short breath, a moment of anticipation before the energy hits. So let's add bass. Let's not forget our synth pad. It doesn't have to mirror the guitar chords exactly. We can simplify things here to create a more supportive and atmospheric layer. Let's listen to our pre-chorus. chorus is where the energy truly bursts forth. It's our moment to pour every emotion into our performance and reach out to our listeners. They need to feel the emotional connection we've built throughout the song and become part of it. For the chorus, we need drums that erupt with power and inject raw energy into the song. I found this one that fits perfectly. This time around, the guitars take their cue from the drums and not the other way around like before. Now it gets interesting. Up next is our rhythm guitar to unleash its raw power, driven by gritty, heavy distortion. So if you wondered why I'm using a 7-string guitar, now you know. So, we keep the chords very simple at this moment, just easy power chords. So I start with a B minor, followed by an E minor, then a G, and an A. In the second run, I also start with the B minor, but then I go over to a D, then to a G again, and then to a C major. So then we switch the key from B minor to C major, because this always sounds great. Let's record. Here's a tip for finding your chords when you don't know what to play. The problem is that power chords transmit a lot of energy, but they all sound nearly the same. So it doesn't matter if you play a sequence like this, or like this. It sounds very similar, right? So one approach you can try is picking up a different guitar and experimenting with a completely new style. Personally, I like grabbing my Strat and playing chords like this. Or switching to my acoustic guitar to explore a softer feel. If it sounds good to you, you can easily transfer those chords to a high-gain guitar. That way you'll already have a sense of how they might evolve. But for now I'm sticking with the simple chords, and maybe toward the end of the composition process I'll shape them into something more interesting. Bass. For the synth. Finally, let's listen to what we've got. done, we have the rhythmic parts of our chorus section finished. The project is steadily taking shape and gaining structural clarity, so in our next episode we will move forward and craft a lead melody for the chorus section that brings everything to life, flows above the groove and connects with the heart of the song. Can't wait to share more with you. I hope you liked the video. Please leave some comments and share your own ideas with me. By the way, the next video could take a little while since I'll be on vacation, so I hope you'll forgive the delay. My next video will likely be up in early October. See ya!